I know I'm going to get some haters out there for making this video, but I need to tell you this because I've been researching what cameras that most content creators on the platform on YouTube actually uses. And it's no surprise to me that Sony is very, very big amongst all YouTube creators. But something that I noticed besides that is that a lot of creators switched from Canon to Sony. I myself switched from Nikon to Blackmagic and then to Sony. But what made all of these camera and YouTube creators switch from Canon to Sony? There are still some people out there using Canon, but there's something that really breaks it for me when I'm thinking about Canon. Canon has been a leading brand in the industry for ages. They have really good camera quality. They make great hybrid cameras as well. Some say that the log profile on the Canon is not as good as Panasonic and Sony, but I don't know the technical details about this. But there's just one thing, that Canon is just worse than all of the other brands combined. Canon has done some things recently that makes everyone wants to hate them. Besides dropping the EF mount, like from way back, a mount that a lot of camera lens producers have made lenses to. A lot of cinema lens is also made for the EF mount. And then they had a quick stop with the EF-M mount that the M50 and so on small cameras started to use. But they dropped this mount as well. So if you have invested in glass for the EF-M mount, then you're out of luck because they are not supported anymore. All of the new cameras going forward is the Canon RF mount. And the Canon RF mount is the big problem here that I want to discuss. I think that is one of the main reasons, besides that Sony took some leaps ahead in video quality in the A7S III, but also the thing that if you buy a Canon camera today and you have the RF mount, you have to buy Canon RF glass. And let me just tell you, they are super expensive. They are more expensive than the original Sony G Master glass, or what's it called, Sony glass from Sony. But the thing is about Sony, about the L-mount Alliance from Panasonic and all of these other camera brands, is that you can buy a camera from Sony and then you could buy maybe lenses from Sigma, as I really love Sigma, or you can go for Tamron or any of all the other lens manufacturers out there. Everything from cinema lenses from 7 Artisans, like very cheap ones, to Mikey lenses that I really love. They also make them for both Sony and like the Micro Four Thirds and L-mount, and but all the way over to Tamron, Sigma, and there's so much to choose from, which means that when you invest in a Sony camera, you don't have to buy Sony lenses, which makes it much cheaper to own a Sony camera. The other thing is, even if I buy one of the more expensive full-frame cameras, the Sony A7 IV or A7S III, or one of these cameras, like the high-end cameras, I can use the same lenses as I can on the APS-C shooters, like the Sony ZV-E10, or like the one I'm shooting with right here, the Sony A6600. And all of the Sony cameras are using the same mount. They're not switching mount all the time. And as I said, the mount is open. There's been rumors out there that Canon just want to control the mount, but what I can read online is that they banned Viltrox and some other manufacturer, I think it was Tamron, from selling any of the lenses produced for the RF mount. They have been in talk with a camera company called Voigtlander to make some lenses, but I think this is a money play. There's a money grab. They want to own the camera and own all the lenses that you buy if you buy a Canon camera, which is why when anyone is asking what camera to buy these days, I would never ever recommend a Canon camera, and which is why I think that many of the bigger Canon creators are switched away from Canon to Sony. All the Canon creators I can see online that's left is because they have everything in Canon already and it's more expensive to change. Otherwise, and that is because they are Canon brand ambassadors. I don't see a lot of just Canon users, day-to-day users on YouTube anymore. There are some that sticks with the Canon R6 Mark II, but I still see that almost everyone has switched to Sony instead. If you think I am wrong about this, then please leave a comment below and I'd like to hear your opinion about it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video.